Hey YouTube, it's Maze, and today we're doing something completely different. I have a bunch of best to worst type videos ranking things in Skyrim that I've wanted to get to, and I'm going to go ahead, we're going to get to it now. Hopefully this is fun. Remember, this is just my opinion. If you're new to the channel, thank you guys for stopping in. Return people, thank you so much for the support, and let's get straight into the worst to the best Skyrim Jarls. Here we go. And at the very bottom, the worst Yarrow. Actually, she's not the worst. She just don't know much about her. And that's number 17, Sorely the Builder. She will become the replacement Yarrow in Morthal if you side with the Stormcloaks. I don't know why she's the one that they choose. She runs a mining camp with her husband. It's owned by Thane Bryling from Solitude. She states herself that someday she wants to rule a place like Riften and move up and away from Marthal, and they really don't like where they live out in the middle of nowhere. So because of that, we don't know much about her. She just doesn't seem like a good Jarl. And number 16 is going to go to Layla Lawbringer, the current Yarrow of the Rift at the beginning of the game, and she's by far the weakest of the Jarls. She allows Maven to push her influence around the city. She doesn't seem to do anything. She knows about the skooma, but she hasn't taken care of it. The Thieves Guild, she has Maven take care of it. She sits back and has all her yes people telling her that everything's great. Her own son stands up with his ideas about the Empire. She strips him of all of his responsibilities and his titles. I believe that she is blind to reality, and she chooses to avoid taking care of issues because she doesn't know how. I just think she's not capable of being a Yarrow. At number 15, we have Skull the Elder. He is the Yarrow of the Pale in Dawnstar. And this guy is just a complete jackwagon. He's one of the 3 Jarls that openly support the Stormcloaks. He believes that the dragons are sent by Talos for banning the worship, and that once they defeat the Empire in the Civil War that the dragons will leave. He also believes that Ulfric is invincible and spits dragon fire. Argues with everybody on his staff. His own mage, Medina, who's a Breton, wants to go home until the end of the Civil War. He refuses, stating that there will be no deserters from his hold. This guy's a jerk. That's why he's down here. Number 14, everybody's most hated Jarl, Siggeir of Falkreath. This he's terrible. He's smug. He's condescending. He's arrogant. He has no interest in learning how to run his hold, nor does he want to run his hold. Instead, he wants his steward to do it, while he drinks the finest wine and wears the finest clothes and attends the finest party, and he gets the finest women. At one point in time, he was affiliated with some bandits, and they were giving him a cut of the money while he was allowing them to do their bandit things. Well, now that he's Jarl, he needs that taken care of, and that's actually the first quest that he sends the Dragonborn on. This guy has no reason being a Jarl, and he will forever be at the bottom. Number 13, Thongvor Silverblood. He will be the replacement Yarrow in the Reach if you side with the Stormcloaks. And this guy, he hates elves. He accuses the priest of the Hall of the Dead for taking away Talos, even though the guy had nothing to do with it. He uses his own men to bully around the other lower citizens, as well as the merchants and the shopkeepers. All around, just a bad guy. I don't see any positive outcome of him becoming the Yarrow of Markarth. And at number 12, we have Courier, the Yarrow of Winterhold. He dislikes the Winterhold College. He's grumpy that, the Great Collapse happened, and he just seems to all around be in a bad mood and distrust the mages. And at number 11 is his replacement, Kraldar, if you side with the Empire. This guy's just like his generic opposite. He's always positive. He wants to rebuild what Winterhold into the great city that it once was. He wants to work with the Archmage, and he likes all the mages at the college. So because of this, 12 and 11 are pretty much equal. And at number 10, we have Denegir. He was the former Jarl of Falkreath. Now his nephew Sigrid is now the Jarl of Falkreath, and if you side with the Stormcloaks, he will again become the Jarl. This guy, they claim that his health was deteriorating. I think it was his mental health. He seems a little bit of kooky and crazy. Brother mentions things, and if you hang out at the bar, he gets into like a little argument with the barkeeper in there. Just seems like, he's a good guy, but he's getting up there in age, and he's probably not best fit to be running a hold, but he is by far a better choice than his nephew. At number 9, we have Brina Morales, and she will be the replacement in Dawnstar if you side with the Imperial Legion. She's very worried about the dragon attacks, unlike Skald, who thinks that Talos had sent them. She wants to build a city, she wants to get the defenses ready, and most people in the city, even while Skald is the Yarrow, they seem to go to her for support and answers and help. At number 8, we have Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Eastmarch, Windhelm. Fantastic character. All the things that happened to him make sense for the way he is now and why he's causing this uprising. Though I don't agree with the fact that he has his city segregated, or the fact that he kind of used the momentum when he returned home to fuel and drive his own propaganda to rise an army up and then try to overthrow the Empire. Because of that, he's going to sit at number 8. And at number 7, I almost put her right below Ulfric, but I put her one step up because I love the Thieves Guild, and that's going to be Maven Blackbriar, Yarrow of the Rift if you side with the Imperial Legion. She has ties to the Brotherhood, to the Thieves Guild. She has her own successful meadery. Is she going to use her influence and power as Yarrow to increase her own standing and her own network? Yeah, she probably is, but she's already more or less in control of Riften, so I see no reason why her taking the title officially would really change anything. I think she's a bad woman. She's gonna have people assassinated and killed. Not a good thing, but I think she's far better than Layla. At number 6, Ellis the Fair, Yarrow of Hofringer in Solitude. Clearly, her rule is very dependent on Imperial support, and I think she understands that. She surrounded herself with a very capable and educated council, and they seem to be doing a good job on teaching her, and she seems to be doing a good job on learning, and she aspires to maybe become the High Queen, and I think that she understands there's steps that need to happen before that, and she seems more than capable and very eager to actually do so. Number 5, Igrad Ravencorn, Yarrow of Hajalmark in Marthal, and she's a seer of visions and dreams. She's like the wise medicine woman out in the swamp, kind of like a witch that can, she sees the future and sees images, things like that. She's very similar to Balgruuf in the way that she doesn't want to get involved in the war. She dislikes the Thalmar. The only problem she has is there's this wizard in her town and people don't like him, and she's trying to tell him that it's okay. And she doesn't really see much need to rule Marthal. More so she wants to be there as their teacher. Number 4, we have Igman, Yarrow of the Reach in Markarth. This guy's a huge, strong supporter of the Empire. He and his father were the ones that called Ulfric in and helped them take the Forsworn out of Markarth, and then later turned against him and had him incarcerated along with his men because they promised him open worship of Talos, which the Empire then said, "Nuh-uh, you're not going to do that." This guy's in a really rough spot. He's in a very hostile area of Skyrim, and I think that he's a very fit ruler, and he's doing a very good job for the city. And we're down to the final 3, and we're going to start number 3. This is going to be Ulfric's replacement if you side with the Imperial Legion, and that is Brunwulf Freewinter, the Yarrow, replacement Yarrow of Eastmarch. He openly opposes the ideas, the citizens' treatment of the Argonians and the Dunmer. When or if he becomes Yarrow, he expresses the idea that there are steps that need to be taken, that the Nords aren't going to just wake up one day and allow the segregation in their city to stop. He wants to renovate the Grey Quarters first to improve the area that the Dunmer live in, and then slowly work his way through, and maybe eventually get the Argonians into the city and off of the docks. And at number 2, I absolutely love this guy, and this is Vignar Greymane. He lives in Yavoskur and has been a member of the Companions since he was a kid, as well as served in the Imperial Legion as, I believe, a commander for 30 years. I really like the Greymanes. I hate the Battleborns except for John. I think John's a pretty cool dude. The city seems to really like him, and the transitional dialogue between him and Balgruuf, if he becomes the new Jarl, is very good as well, and it makes a lot of sense. This guy's very wise. He would be a very great leader. The city likes him, and he seems to have the best interest for the city in mind. And at number 1, we have Balgruuf the Greater, the Jarl of Whiterun Hold. This guy's great. He lets his brother just wander around and bicker or whatever he does all day, eating at the table and just eating chicken and turkey legs. His kids are just running around that he has with 2 women. He's got this other girl, this, attractive dark elf assassin that's going to slit and cut out anybody's throat who she thinks is going to cause him any harm. And this guy, he's got good intentions. He's looking out for Whiterun. He refuses to take a side in the war because he doesn't want to get involved, though he dislikes Ulfric and has for years. He also worships Talos, and he's refused to allow the Empire to garrison soldiers inside of Whiterun. So he's tried to stay neutral and tries to stay neutral throughout the game as much as he can because he's more worried about his hold and his people and staying that commerce trade center of Skyrim. So that wraps it up. That is the 100% correct list of the worst Jarls in Skyrim, all the way to the best Jarls in Skyrim. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Go ahead and put your comments down below. I have some other ranking things like Battleborns and Greymanes and stuff like that, but I do want to get back into a few more mod videos. And then I have some really fun like citizen NPC type rankings in each of the holds, each of the cities inside of Skyrim. So hopefully that'll be fun too. I don't know when that's going to come out, but hopefully soon. But anyways, everybody take care, and I will see you all in the next video.